Most businesses focus on marketing strategies that are increasing traffic to their website, which leads to more high-quality leads from that traffic, which turn into the increased conversion of those leads. And first of all, you must see for yourself what works for your brand. And you can start by building pieces of content for each step of the customer journey. Test them. Test multiple variants of the same piece of content and then measure the impact. So this piece of content drive the result that I plan. And some measurement activities can include the A/B testing for different types of content, approaches, to color, to copy, to video scripts, to photos, to landing pages, real-time monitoring of sales funnel, conversion rate, just to name a few. And you can decide which creative and audience strategies are, most effective in driving lift for your conversions. If that piece of content works, you can implement it. If it doesn't, just quickly dismiss it. This is the only way to grow, to innovate, and to adapt. And it functions in business. It operates in content strategy as well. And one of the best ways to know if your marketing is working right is by running experiments to understand better what is performing well and what can be improved. You must learn to measure how small changes to your campaign, such as ad text, keywords, or landing page, can impact your results. The build, measure, learn approach, also known as the lean method, will undoubtedly provide a systematic process to evaluate if your strategy is worth continuing or not. So if a test is successful, you can carry on with the same goals, or you can pivot, change, or shift, some aspects of your strategy. But besides testing and implementing, brands are now global actors. That means brands need to evaluate what their portfolio of offerings represent to the world. Are they part of the conversation? Are they attuned to what's happening globally? Are you listening to the global and local conversations, and are you part of them? Are you listening to your customers' feedback, and what about your employees' feedback? Are you able to adapt, to learn new things, dismiss old tactics, adopt change, and evolve? Sometimes marketing is just about a brand taking a position on a topic important to the customers. And you should always ask yourself, is your content meaningful to your ideal customer? Does it provide the value for the person reading it? And is your communication interesting enough to spark a conversation? According to your marketing goals, you must measure to learn which channels, which digital media formats and campaigns play the most significant role in achieving your goals for every step in the customer journey. In other words, you should look at the performance indicators like how many people visited your website during their visit or how much content that they consume. In the end, you should measure the value of macro and micro outcomes to your company. You should know, where did the customer come from initially and how did he find you? Was it through social media? What network? Which content did they read? How long did it take for them to convert? And what other content did they download while they were a lead? And what exactly was it that made them buy? It is crucial to understand what works and what doesn't. And it is more important to know why it performs the way it does and how a piece of content impacts your business in numbers. To control is to regularly review the process of key performance indicators defined at the objective setting stage. It is essential to check if the strategy is on track to meet the desired marketing SMART objectives. You, and only you, can learn what drives the first purchase, what causes a second purchase, what drives the support calls, and what does the consumer feel while using your product or service. And what is it that drives advocacy for your brand? Once you understand the answers to these questions, you will see how they influence your marketing activities. These performance indicators will affect the creatives, the targeting, the retail store displaying, the frequency, the product design, the text copy, and ultimately the profit. So whether you want to create awareness, generate leads, or highlight events, be prepared to measure each stage of the customer journey in terms of acquisition, behavior, and outcomes.